What's up, guys? This is Wenzes. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about creating an epic life on your terms. And today we're talking about how to improve your life in 2019. We're actually talking about 5 to-dos with deadlines so you actually get going. We're at the second half of 2019 and you might think, oh, I haven't used this time so far. But don't worry, we're going to talk about hands-on strategies and to-dos you can start applying today to improve your life in 2019 like you never have before. The 5 to-dos we're going to talk about will have different deadlines, starting with something you have to finish by tonight, something you have to finish by the end of the week, something you have to finish by the end of the month, something by the end of the season. If you're watching this as this comes out, it will be in the end of summer, so in the end of September, and then one thing you have to finish by the end of the year. We'll go into detail now. Don't worry about making notes. I've written the most important things into the description. So to do number 1 with the deadline of tonight is to set up an action plan. And I'm talking about an action plan in the following categories. Number 1, your physical energy management. So we're talking about meditation, we're talking about working out, we're talking about your nutrition, or decluttering your home. All of those things have a huge impact on your life and you have to put them into your schedule in order to make sure that you progress in all other areas as well. The second category are your relationships. So you can make a plan of what is most important to you. Do you want to focus more on your social life? Do you really want to improve your intimate relationship? Do you want to have a better relationship with your coworkers or your family? Write down what is most important to you right now, what you want to improve on most. Make a list with the most important thing on top so you're aware of what area you want to focus on first. The third category is your wealth management. So we're talking about your financial game. How is your job doing? Are you really getting the money that you deserve? What are you going to do in order to improve that area of your life so you have more freedom to create the life you always wanted? And the last category is your purpose, your vocation, the thing you love to do, your passion in life. Most people neglect this part, although it's so important because you really need that in order to have the motivation to create a better life for yourself. So remember, today's to-do is simply to put together a really high-level action plan. So we're talking about make yourself aware of what you want to improve on and what you want to focus on. So remember, the first category, it's all about meditation, working out, making sure that you eat right, and that you declutter your home so you can declutter your mind. The second one is relationships, so make a list of what area you want to focus more on. The next one is your financial situation, and the last one is your vocation, your purpose, your passion in life. Just write those things down. That's all you have to do for today. The next to-do has a deadline of the end of this week. So by the end of the week, set up a weekly schedule that you're gonna lean into, that you're gonna make sure you're gonna keep track of. We really need things we can measure ourselves on so we actually take the steps in order to improve our lives. For example, you can say 2 times a week, I'm either gonna meditate, I'm gonna work out, or I'm gonna declutter my house. Additionally, you can put in once a week, I'm gonna meet with friends, I'm gonna make sure that I keep those friendships alive, or you can say once a week I'll have a date night, or if you're single and wanting to have a relationship in your life, you can, for example, sign up for online dating and say I'm gonna talk to one person a week, or you go to new classes and meet somebody, but you have one of those things each week that you're gonna stick to. When it comes to your financial game, let's say you wanna change your job. The thing you should write down in your weekly schedule is, for example, to send off a resume once a week. And I really want to make sure that you get this right. This is not just about this part, about everything. I really need you to focus in on a day where you're going to do it. For example, Sunday afternoons between 2 and 4 o'clock, this is when I hone in on my application and I send off a resume by that day. I always make sure that I go out with a friend on Saturday morning for brunch, for example. Or you write down, I start meditating once a week, I do guided meditation for 10 minutes, and I'm always going to do it on Saturdays. Just start off with something, but it has to be in your schedule and you have to make sure that you stick to it. If it's too much, you're gonna neglect it. So rather start small so you can get used to this new schedule. And don't forget your passion or your purpose in all of this. If you wanna be a writer, then make sure that you work on your book, and you always do that on Fridays afternoon. If you love to act, then do improv or acting classes and make sure that you're gonna be there Wednesdays at 7 p.m. It really doesn't matter if you say that you're gonna do those things twice a week or once a month. What I want you to do by the end of this week is set up that schedule. That's all I'm asking for that part, because later on we're gonna realize what actually works and what doesn't and what we have to adjust. And now we get to the third to-do, which is due by the end of this month. You have already set up the action plan on the first day. In the first week, you've set up your weekly schedule. And by the end of the month, you've already done each one of those categories at least once. So you have, for example, already signed up for the gym and gone to 2 classes. And looking looking at the relationship category, you've already signed up for online dating and you already made sure that you just talked to somebody twice this month. You've sent up either 2 applications, or if you love your job, you've done 2 things that make sure that you are able to improve in your job, that make sure that you're able to get promoted. And you have also made sure that you've done at least 1 thing for your vocation, for your purpose, for your passion. Whatever it is, make that step, because the first step is the hardest. And you'll realize once you set up this weekly schedule, you're not going to be able to stick to everything right away. You'll see that some things are way harder than you thought, because they always are. But what we're trying to do is move forward. What we're trying to do is lean towards the things we want to do. That's why it's so important that you have a goal, that you have made progress in each of those areas by the end of the month. Commit to them, and even if you're not able to reach all of them, make sure that you reach at least 1 step. You don't want to be at the same place in the end of the month as you are right now. And it's not about the result. It's not about if you got that job because you wrote that 1 application. It's about you becoming that person, the person who commits to really sending off an application once a week. That's the goal. We want to make that your new normal. We want to make you feel like you're in control of all of this and that you get positively addicted to all of those things. And the 4th to-do, which is due by the end of the summer, so by the end of September, or any other season you're watching this in, is that you complete 1 goal in each of those categories. What I mean by this is that you do not neglect any of those areas, because what happens is that you only focus on 1 thing, you don't make enough progress, and then you keep pushing everything for later and later. We do not want this. You need to have something accomplished in each one of those areas. So in your physical energy management, in your relationships, in your vocation, or like your purpose, your passion, and your financial game. So what are you doing for your job? Are you looking for another job? Are you creating something that will help you get a promotion? Do you do something to push your own business? It really doesn't matter what it is. This is very individual to you, but that you make progress in all of those things. There has to be something that is measurable, that you have achieved by the end of the summer. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you find that job, but it means that by then you're gonna have sent out 10 applications. It means that by then you have gone to the gym at least 10 times. It means that you really went on 2 dates and talked to people and got to know somebody, and are maybe slowly but surely overcoming limiting beliefs that are keeping you from moving forward. We wanna make progress in all of those areas. And let's say you focus only on 1 thing. So let's say you focus on your job applications and you neglect meeting friends or where you want to be with your relationships. You'll see that you will actually make less progress than doing something in each of those areas, but maybe not putting that much pressure on you. I'm not talking about you starting to work out 5 times a week. I'm saying start once a week, maybe twice a week, and then applying for a job once a week and meeting a friend once a week. It should be small, but it should be in all of those areas. You need a holistic thing in order to be able to keep pushing yourself and growing into the person you want to be and improving your life in 2019 like you've never done before. And then we get to the 5th and last to do, which is due by the end of this year, so December 31st, 2019. The goal by the end of the year is to be a person for whom doing all of those things in each of those areas has become part of you. It's not difficult for you to brush your teeth twice a day. It's not difficult for you to take a shower every day. Maybe you're dreading it from time to time, but you're still doing it. I personally have made my bed for the last 7 years. I meditate, I work on my business, I work on my relationships. I have made this a point, and I know you can too. There's enough time by the end of the year to make sure that you push yourself in those areas little by little, so this becomes a part of you. This is like the difference of saying I'm committing to having a lifestyle change in my nutrition instead of I'm doing a diet. If you're doing a diet, at some point you're already planning to get off that, to stop doing that, to get back to old behaviors. What we want to be is by the end of the year to be a person who is all of those things. I am a person who meditates. I am a person who works out. I am a person who works on my relationships and makes sure that I meet my friends. I'm somebody who pushes my vocation, my purpose, my passion, and my financial wealth. These are things that are important to me. I have made this happen. And this does not work from one day to the other. Trust me, you need some time and you need to start little by little. But if you have never been able to become that person you want to be, then try this, because this will definitely work. And if you do those small steps, you'll see by the end of the year how you've become the person you always wanted to be and how you improved your life tremendously. But you gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta admit that this is where you are because you've been doing whatever you've been doing. And now if you want to change yourself and if you want to improve your life, you gotta start small, but you gotta start holistically. And then in a couple of months, you can be the person you wanted to be. It's more important to be that person in a couple of months than to be that person only for 3 days and then let it go. If you want to have some more support with this, check out all the links on 101 coaching and on the Epic Life Masterclass. And definitely watch the video I did on my morning and evening routines in 2019, because that will jumpstart this process even easier. Like always, I wish you a wonderful day, a great week, and I talk to you next time. Bye.